The Dallas Mavericks shot 36% from the field in Game 1. It was their worst shooting percentage of the entire postseason. On top of that, they allowed 7 Warriors to score in double figures. But they're not fazed by that. They've had to learn to have a short memory this postseason after dropping Game 1 in every series so far. But they've responded in winning fashion.
We got to make shots. We shot 19 threes there in the first quarter. We got great looks. If you're not going to make shots against the Warriors, our opponent, it's going to be a long night.
Our shot challenges were great. They took 48 threes. It's a lot of effort to get out and challenge shots all game and still cover the paint. And so our guys worked really hard and competed well.
Ultimately, a team like that's going to get some open shots. They have a guy who draws a lot of attention, and they got a bunch of shooters. So that's the way their offense is designed. You're not going to completely take that away. Like, you have to try to make the shots tough as you can, and hopefully the ones that you can make tough can affect the ones that they get open.
The whole thing it comes down to is your want and will, and this group has been special with that. They truly believe that they belong here and that they have a chance to win a championship.
It was a problem defensively for the Dallas Mavericks. Luka struggled for the first time, more turnovers than field goals made in this game. Meek, you've seen these different coverages. What did you see from Golden State that they implemented on Luka?
Well, I thought it started with Andrew Wiggins, who did a great job individually on Luka to find a way to deal with it, or how he is going to be proactive as far as getting the ball around to his teammate. But his teammates, they got to make those shots. You got 48 threes. You got to make some of those shots. That will remedy some of the problem with Luka.
Yeah, 48 threes, and they missed 37 of those attempts. Definitely not good. Looking at this Dallas Mavericks team, they missed a lot again. 2s and 3s, it was a problem, B. Wood. So what needs to change specifically for the Mavericks in the next game?
Well, they just need to play better as a team. Only shot 36% from the floor, 23% from 3. Starts with Luka. Luka's their leader. He's going to have to play better. At the same time, the role players are going to need to knock down shots. And you don't need all of your role players to play great, but you need a couple of those guys to have those moments. In the playoffs, role players can become heroes if they just have a game or two here or there. And so whether that's Spencer Dinwiddie, whether that's Dorian Finney-Smith, UNC legend Reggie Bullock, no matter who it is, they just need to get a couple of guys hitting some shots, and that will open up the lane a little bit more for Luka. And, of course, Luka has a lot on his plate, one of the highest usage rates in the league. He has to play well because the ball's in his hands so much.
Let me tell you, a guy who was a key factor for them was Kleber. Kleber has to make those shots. I mean, he was great in the first 2 series. So if he can come out and have a decent showing, especially behind the arc, that's another guy who's going to open up Luka. Because Luka can, he can try to get 30 or 40, but if those other guys are not making shots, if they don't play better as a team, it's going to be hard to beat the Golden State Warriors.
Speaking of hard to beat the Golden State Warriors, we know all about the Splash Brothers, but somebody we've got introduced to, especially in this postseason and during the regular season, Jordan Poole, who's been amazing, 19 points off the bench. He's pretty much found his role and his niche with this Golden State team.
Yeah, Jordan Poole's a tremendous scorer, and he's had an excellent chance the last 2 years to really develop. Came in that first year, took advantage of getting some minutes, came back the next year even better, and now we're seeing him really turn it on and become a big-time player. Shouts out to the Golden State Warriors coaching staff and this young man for working on his game, getting to this point where he's been able to shine at the brightest level. And he's playing in a great system. They move the ball, they play up and down, nobody holds the rock, and you can't load up on Jordan Poole because you got Steph, you got Wiggins playing well, you got Klay Thompson. So, man, he's playing in the perfect system that matches his skill set.
Well, it's great. What's great about the old Golden State, and you said this earlier, is that you can't load up on a guy like Jordan who's a scorer on this team. On another team, he might be the featured scorer on another team, but they have so many guys on this team who can score the basketball that they don't rely on one guy to have a big night every night. They got multiple guys who can get it done, get you 30, 35 points on any given night. But Steph Curry is the one who it starts with. When he's rolling like you see him here, the game becomes easy for everybody else because you got to double, sometimes triple him.
Yes.
And one thing I saw also that Jordan Poole does a great job of is that when Steph drives the lane, because they get the switch and he drives that big man and goes down the lane, when that ball swings to the weak side and it's Jordan Poole one-on-one against the closeout, he seems to always make the right decision of whether to shoot the ball, drive it to the basket, or get to his little mid-range pull-up. And we know he's an excellent free throw shooter as well.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Sure. The Golden State Warriors, all 5 starters were in double figures. We'll see what happens in Game 2. The Mavericks, by the way, 4-1 after a loss so far in these playoffs. The Warriors haven't lost at home yet in the postseason. Take a look at the schedule for the remainder of the seasons, which can be seen exclusively on TNT, the Western Conference Finals. Friday night, Game 2 is that what you'll see, and then they go to Dallas in Game 3 on Sunday. Conference, Luka Doncic did not perform well. The Mavs take an L in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors. How will they respond? Say hello to my little friend, Scarface in the building. But then Steph Curry, he has made a 3 in 124 consecutive playoff games, at least one. And they won their 7th straight home game this postseason. Curry and company looking to make an advance as they dance. And with that said, NBA fans, what's good? You are now rocking with the best. Roll Parrish here, Studio B, Playoff Central Live, presented by AT&T 5G, joined by NBA champion and the man who I affectionately call the Big Petty, Brendan Haywood. Right. And, of course, back again, top 75, Legend. Hall of Fame. Neek is in the building. Just in case you don't know Dominique Wilkins, let me say it properly. Neek, good to see you.
Well, Nick is good.
Nick is cool?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, we can roll with that there.
Yeah.
Big picture. We're looking at Game 2 tonight. Obviously, we know that this Miami Heat team was so impressive, especially in that third quarter. But just looking at this series in general, how pivotal is this Game 2 tonight, seeing Boston and how they're set up?
Well, in the playoffs, always talk about taking care of home court. And Miami so far has done that. But on the other hand, now Boston is coming back. They got their troops back. And, I think their best playmaker is Marcus Smart. So now it helps them control the game a little more because, Tatum had a lot of turnovers in Game 1, so they're going to have to get a handle on that. So I think this is going to be a solid game for Boston tonight.
B. Will, what's your thoughts?
I think this is a very pivotal game for Boston, just because you don't want to go home down 0-2. You'd love to steal one, take home court advantage back, have a lot of young guys on this team, get those young guys very confident going back home to that Boston crowd where they can ride the wave. They have excellent memories because of what they were able to do in Game 7 against Milwaukee. So I think for Boston, it's very important that they get this game, go home feeling good, get their confidence back. And, Nick, you know how it is when you're playing. You can psych yourself out and say, man, we could have won 2 if we had our guys the first game. And